Be honest. Are you a strict parent? Are you really hard on your kids? I want to take the next few minutes to talk about who you are, why you do it, and also the problem with it. In the last part of this video, I want us to discuss solutions, just very simple ways that you can begin to build a more balanced and effective approach in your parenting. Hey, so welcome to this 5-part series on what I call parenting your mouth. And we're paying attention specifically to the things that we say as parents that really make us ineffective in our parenting. So today I am focused on the strict parents. And if that is you, you know who you are, right? You've been told before, you need to ease up. You're really hard on these kids. And like I said earlier, let's discuss why you do this. You're not crazy. You really want your kids to get it. You know, and it's important to you that they understand, and the only evidence of you being able to see that they understand is by what they do. But here's the thing, guys. Let's talk about why this might be a problem. You know, the focus with a strict parent is the outcome, is what you're actually trying to see in the output of their behavior. But the thing that you're missing is the process and journey that actually produces the outcome. You see, humans need a very natural developmental track to learn. In fact, the outcome of learning, like really, when somebody attains something, it becomes an internal conviction, not just a witness to what somebody else has said. So that's one of the first problems with our strict parenting is we are potentially skipping over that internal transaction, that process and developmental journey that they're on. I think the other big problem with being a strict parent is that you are teaching them to pay attention to force of authority, right? And that's the main thing. You're not necessarily getting the lesson across, but you're teaching them to respond to consequences. And that's it. So what you end up with is a kid that might live in two extremes. One extreme is a kid an adult at that point that needs an authority figure to tell them what to do because that's all that they know. And they don't have the internal grit to navigate life on their own. So they need and rely and look for somebody to be stronger for them so that they can make decisions. And the other extreme is the young adult or the person that shoots themselves in the foot all the time, fighting authority because of the experience of having to come against yours so often when they're a kid. Guys, I get it. These are problems and this stinks. So what do we do? How do we begin to change our approach and be more balanced in our parenting? I want to give you just 3 simple thoughts to get you on that track that'll eventually get you to the place where you're wanting to go here. Okay, so one of the first things that I want you to consider is the idea of just slowing down. Slow down. It ain't all that. Slow down. Now, one of the reasons why we act so aggressively is because we take a picture of whatever your 6-year-old is doing in that moment, whatever your 12 or 13-year-old is doing, and then you fast forward that image into their 30-year-old self. And like, look, if you can't share at this stage of your life, you're going to be a sociopath when you're 30. You're going to kill people. You're going to do horrible things. And so we respond really aggressively, bypassing the process and the growth that's needed because of the fear of what we see in our minds. And what we got to do is to slow down. Look, dude, it's just Tuesday, all right? It is not 2054 yet. Okay, so that's one of the first things. We have got to begin to slow our own internal pace and clock. So let's move on to the second thing. Here's the second thing I want you to consider. I want you, as the parent, to be nicer to yourself. That's it. I want you to be nicer to yourself because here's the problem with really strict and stern people. The truth is, as hard as they are on other people, nobody is as hard on themselves than themselves. Right? And you carry all that and you unload it on your child. So I think one of the first things that you need to do is forgive yourself and allow yourself to be more kind to you. And look, that is actually incredibly hard. But it's important that you do that, because as you show yourself that compassion, you'll find even more capacity to show it to your kids as well. So let me give you the last thought that I want to share with you on how to balance your parenting, and be less strict and more wise. I want you to pay attention to not just the content of what they did, but pay attention to the intent of why they did it, right? Try to zoom in and take time to understand that internal story of why and what caused them to do what they did. What's that internal dialogue? Because if you can address that, and if you can get there, you can understand the goal that they had in their mind and in their heart, and you can actually give them the tools and resources of how to appropriately get there, instead of just punishing them for what they did and cutting it off and saying compliance, compliance. Let's get back to what was actually happening in the quiet space of your heart and mind that created that behavior. If I can address that, then I can actually help bring that child to a conviction to do the right thing, because it's a win for them and it's a win for us. So that's it, guys. I hope that these thoughts and these points are helping you bring more balance, more wisdom to why you do what you do. And I want you to stay tuned for more videos in this series of Parenting Your Mouth. Next, I'll be talking about the parent that talks too much, and how do I talk less and have my kids listen more. I look forward to seeing you there, and let's keep moving forward.